Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Talking Tridents, a Mariners podcast. We are back another week. What an incredible series sweep that the Mariners just had of the Padres. Uh, our pitching is insane, was insane that series. It just makes me more mad that the Mariners would get swept by the Blue Jays after playing a series like that. Man,
Especially against a
but
far superior team in the Padres.
exactly. Exactly. It doesn't make sense. The Yankees series, I expected,
Hmm
the Yankees are a good team, so I expected that. At least we salvaged one win. But the sweep of the Padres, man, what a good series, too, all around for Mariners offensively and pitching, especially against the lineup like that is crazy. Bryan
Yeah,
Woo,
I mean,
new ace unlocked. It's crazy.
and not to mention that we're 3-0 in the Eddie Vedder Cup, so I mean, we're in good shape. I mean, that's
Yeah.
basically better than a World Series win. So,
That
I'll
is. I
take
mean,
what we
at this
can get.
point, we're Eddie Vedder Cup champion. So
World
who
Series,
needs
you get
anything
seven
more than
games.
that?
Eddie Vedder Cup, you get six. So,
Yeah, like
no, but just as you said, I mean, this series I think is the epitome of what the Mariners could be. We
yeah,
gave up one run in each game, 3 runs total, and we scored about what was it, 14 runs, something like that.
yeah,
And most of them via the long ball. I mean,
yeah. A
the
lot of home
Mariners
runs
are a
this
team
series.
that have, yeah, there's a lot of power in that lineup. Not a lot of overall hitting ability. We're not going to see 260 batting average across the board, but and
Yeah,
then not to mention Evans, Hancock, and Wu all looked like formidable rotation pieces. So
for
that
real.
was just
Yeah,
it was amazing to see. What a weekend, and I can't wait till we can see what comes next.
yeah, yeah. Hancock and Evans, they've both had their ups and downs this year. But overall, I've liked them both from what I've seen. But
Yeah.
going into this series, I was a little more concerned, I guess. But man, they pitched great.
Well,
They,
Logan Evans went out and pitched 6 innings of 1 run ball. Emerson
yeah,
Hancock got pulled a little bit early at 4 2/3, bases loaded. You got to go to the bullpen in that situation. That was a good call
yeah,
by Dan. And then Bryan
and
Woo, just I mean, he's the ace of the
man,
team right now. Logan Gilbert,
yeah,
George Kirby, who I mean, come on now.
yeah. For real, we don't need them actually. Keep them down
No,
in
please come back,
AAA.
please.
But yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, he gave up that early home run to Tatis in the first inning,
Hmm
and then ever since then,
That was the first batter. That was the first batter in the
yeah,
game.
yeah. So, when I saw that, I was like, oh, great. Like, here we go.
Here we
The
go.
Padres,
hmm
it was about time. But no,
The, mo-
he locked in and he was smooth sailing the rest of the game. So
the moment I
crazy.
saw that home run, first Tatis, I mean, it was crazy out in front, was still able to pull into the left field bleachers. But I
Yeah.
was thinking, okay, you know what? We at least got the series win, but it only
Right.
went uphill from there. Not only
Yeah.
did Brian Woo probably put his, I would say, first or second best start of the season, offense managed, defense managed. Leo Rivas had a great play at second base. I don't know if you saw that, a cross body throw, but that was
Uh,
just fantastic.
yeah, I did see
Um,
that. Yeah.
just clicking on all cylinders. I mean, a weekend like that can really drive a team, and I really hope it does because we saw when we first
Yeah.
swept the Rangers that led to 9 series wins in a row.
Right.
Is
No,
this the start
now
of a new
nine more
streak?
ahead.
Yeah, time will tell, but it was really good to
Yeah.
see.
It was good to see, and we're going into the White Sox tomorrow, so which is another good sign because they suck. So hopefully, I'm not going to say another sweep, but it should be another good series in the Mariners' favor. So
Yeah, if we're looking forward to that series, I see a 2-1 at worst case, sweeping at best case, and um,
yeah,
that I mean that's really good. I mean, if you can take two of games out of any 3 game set, that's a really solid way to continue the season. So
yeah, for sure.
hopefully they can get some better results out of a 14-33 White Sox. But Mariners
Yeah,
currently are tied for the second best record in the AL, and they don't look like they have any momentum shift coming. So I really hope that this continues and that we get some
right.
reinforcements with Kirby and Gilbert coming back soon and see where it can take us.
Yeah, if anything, we should be getting better with those guys coming back.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
uh, with God forbid any more injuries, but you know.
Well, and we saw earlier this season too. The bullpen was really struggling, and the rotation wasn't able to pick up the slack. I think that's kind of
Right.
been the biggest shift in these last 4 or 5 weeks. We've seen the bullpen taking less of the innings and the rotation stepping up. Logan
Yeah.
Evans and Emerson Hancock, I could have never imagined them being, everyday reliable, every fifth day starters. I
Right.
saw them as spot starters, maybe coming up when people are injured, and obviously injuries have lingered longer than anticipated. But they are
Yeah.
looking really solid.
Yeah. Very true. I mean, I was excited about them just from their minor league, um, outings, and then when we saw Hancock, his first start of the season was the
How was
worst
that though, man? That was
imaginable.
rough.
Yeah, that's right. And then, having to go to Logan Evans kind of abruptly because of
Hmm.
injury, this is kind of best case scenario, to be honest, as of right now with those two. So,
I agree.
yeah.
Yeah, and
So,
some updates on the bullpen or on the rotation injuries. I mean, Logan Gilbert threw another bullpen the other day. He did something where it was kind of interesting. I'd never heard of this before, but he like pitched 25 pitches, then sat for like 20 minutes, and then pitched another 25 pitches. I don't know what the theory behind that is, or if there's anything. If anyone knows, please let us know down below. But
I think it's
he
to
did that.
simulate. I think it's to simulate, like in between innings, if
Oh yeah,
like a long, he has to sit for a long time while the offense is out there. I think it's to simulate that because a lot of times when a pitcher, in between innings has to sit for a long
hmm
time,
yeah. There's a
uh,
good 10 minutes in there sometimes.
yeah, if not more, if your offense is,
Yeah,
hitting. So that's, not good for a pitcher. So I think maybe it's
yeah.
just to simulate that because we saw, Munoz go 4 outs yesterday, which is
Saturday's
not,
game. Yeah.
yeah, which is not his typical role. But you saw in between innings, he was in there, he was in the dugout, wouldn't sit down, walking back and forth, trying to keep that blood flowing and stuff.
No,
Because he's not used
that
to
makes
pitching two innings, So I think it's something along those lines is why they do
that makes
that.
a lot of sense. And speaking on Munoz too, it ruined his stat line. It no longer says 20 appearances, 20 innings. It says 20.1 innings, which is good. He did his job, but
Yeah,
um, no, I
not
mean
a
just
even
everything's been
better.
going good. And Logan Gilbert coming back is going to be a big boost. George Kirby, I don't know if anyone saw him. He was in the dugout this weekend with the Padres. They flew him up
I
on
saw
Friday for the series.
I saw him,
Um,
yeah. Because
there's no official timeline on when he's going to be back, but I can imagine. I mean, as of right now, Tuesday's open. If you look at the probable pitchers, Tuesday is open.
yeah,
So not gonna say any like that. That's gonna be a for certain, but
I saw
it's
a
kind of
thing.
lining up
Yeah,
perfectly.
yeah, I saw someone talking about that. The Mariners they could be expecting to have him back for the White Sox series. So I think you're onto something with Tuesday. We'll
Yeah,
see,
we
but
got
wouldn't that be nice?
Castillo going tomorrow, and then literally Tuesday is TBD, and then you go to
Yeah,
Wednesday and it says Evans. So
yeah. Because they don't,
if
they
I
don't.
were a betting man, I'd put a lot of money on George Kirby coming back Tuesday. Maybe it won't be
Yeah,
a
I hope
long
so.
start. Maybe they cap him at like, let's say 80 pitches. But you know,
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I mean that's fine with me. It's better than having to have a Diaz pitch, and I don't think anyone
mhm.
wants that. So
Especially me,
yeah.
especially me. One more
So
highlight I wanted to talk about with the pitching, though, just before we move on to something else. The Hancock. Did you see he ramped up to 98 on Saturday?
I did see that
98
actually.
miles an
Yeah,
hour. That was good to see.
yeah, that was good to see. Yeah, that was great to see. And he's not a strikeout pitcher. He's a contact
No. Hmm.
pitcher. So
He's letting his
it's
defense
nice
get
to
those outs behind him.
yeah, it's nice to see that. The batter right before he got pulled, he struck him out. I don't remember who he was facing, but
Mhm.
that was a huge out, and he ramped
Yeah.
that fastball up. I don't think that was a 98 mile per hour pitch, but he was looking good.
Yeah. I mean, even at
He
four and
got
two
out there and
thirds,
needed.
that's obviously you want your starters
I
going
mean,
six if you can.
longer,
But
yeah.
4 and 2/3 of 1 run ball, that puts your team in a really good position if the bullpen can go from there. So,
Right. Especially, yeah, I mean, against the Padres, like
mm,
one of the best offenses right now. So, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, they shut down everyone. No, Jackson Merrill wasn't hitting. Manny Machado wasn't
I
hitting.
think Manny
Nobody.
Machado went hitless in the series.
I think he did. It ended his. He had a hit streak going. I forget how many games, but yeah, he
Yeah,
it
on Friday
ended.
that was ended. Yeah.
Yeah, and even yeah, so it's great to see.
hmm Um,
I have a question for you
after
actually.
a series, yeah, go ahead.
So if Kirby comes back on Tuesday, obviously he can slot right into the rotation because we have an opening.
hmm
Because
With
um,
Bryce Miller gone, yeah.
yeah, with Bryce Miller gone. But then when say um, uh,
Gilbert.
Logan Gilbert comes back, who's out?
I mean, I think this White Sox series is going to speak a lot for Logan Evans. I mean, he's 2-1 with a 2.57 ERA. Um, Coming up from the minor leagues is always a transition for not only the pitcher but the hitters that they're opposing.
Yeah,
There's not a lot of scouting reports. There's not a lot of footage. Emerson Hancock has a lot of footage out there from 2023, 24, and 25. Logan Evans only has
right.
4 major league starts under his belt right now. That's it. I
Yeah,
think it's going to be a matter of who can show consistency, which Logan Evans has shown right now. Emerson Hancock hasn't shown that. But
right.
it'd be really interesting to see what the Mariners decide. For me, I think I'm going to go with Logan Evans only for the fact that his breaking stuff is far superior than Emerson Hancock's. As you said earlier,
Yeah,
Emerson Hancock is a contact pitcher, fastball changeup guy. Logan Evans has a lot of other pitches. He has a backdoor slider against lefties that's just incredible. He has a
he does. Yeah,
sweeper. I think for that reason alone, I pick Logan Evans.
yeah, yeah. I would agree with that actually. Yeah, I think you send Hancock down. Evans, the way he's been pitching, he has to stay.
Yeah.
And I think if there's another injury or if Evans really starts to struggle, then you can reopen the door for Hancock. But yeah,
Well, I will say this too. There is a world where they both could get sent down at the same time. They had when they put Bryce Miller on the IL, they said it was just going to be 15 days, no longer than that.
yeah,
So
that's true.
Logan Gilbert hasn't even pitched a rehab assignment yet, and Bryce Miller's already been on the IL for about a week. So there
That's
is
true.
also
Bryce
a
Miller might
world
actually be
where,
back sooner than
yeah,
than
exactly. I mean, Bryce Miller could come
Gilbert.
back, and then Gilbert can come back literally the next rotation spot. So I could see a scenario where, let's say, Hancock pitches, then Logan Evan pitches. A few days later, they pull Hancock, put in Bryce Miller. Then the next rotation
Yeah,
comes around for Evans. They pull him, bring up Logan Gilbert. So there could be a scenario where both of them they're not really fighting for spots. They're just kind of the odd man out in that scenario. We have
yeah,
a an amazing five rotation. When they are healthy, they will be on the major league roster with no ifs ands or buts about that.
yeah,
But Logan Evans and Hancock are definitely making it interesting, just in case anything else does happen. If Gilbert or Miller or anyone else gets injured or delayed, they're making it an interesting conversation for the higher ups to pick.
yeah, yeah. It's good to have him in that scenario.
Mm.
But all I know is that that means we have two um, extra pitchers that
Mm.
I think the Red Sox need, and I think we need Rafael Devers.
Man,
That's all I'm saying.
I've been keeping up with all the drama in Rafael Devers. His dissatisfaction with the front office of the Red Sox is kind of appealing to me. I really see the thought process there, but with Ben Williamson coming up and having an impact, he's been
Yeah,
slumping obviously recently. Um, I mean, it might open a door for Devers to play three, to play one. I mean, even if we can just get a
he
DH
doesn't
and get
want to play
Jorge
first base
Polanco
though.
back at second base, um, I
Yeah,
think a
but
fresh start with a new team might
Devers
be more open to anything.
maybe, but he doesn't want to play anything but third. That's why he's upset.
Yeah.
So
So
I would like to I
would
wouldn't
you
mind
do
him at
this
first at all, but
if, let's say, the Mariners told Jorge Polanco, "Hey, man, it's been long enough. You're healthy. We're putting you back at second base." DH opens
yeah,
up. Rafael Devers slots in. Are you trading Hancock and two upper level prospects for him straight up? Taking on that contract and everything, taking on the contract, the attitude, and any potential lingering issues that come over. You're taking that.
yeah. It's tough, but I think at this point, I think yes.
Yeah.
I think yes, Hancock and I obviously yeah, like you said, you'd have to get like two higher, at least probably two higher level prospects or something
I
along
mean,
with
I'm thinking
that.
like a Johnny
But
Farmelo and Ty Pete. I mean, you're losing two
yeah,
upside
yeah,
outfield slash infield prospects that
you are
are
losing
19
two.
and 20 years old.
Yeah, you are losing two high upside guys, but also like let's be real, it's Devers and it's two guys who are not guaranteed anything in the MLB.
Yeah.
Like they could never play. They could come up and like a lot of prospects suck.
Well,
So
we've talked about in recent episodes too that last year was kind of the opportunity that they missed. Last year
yeah,
was the time to go out and get people. We had a total of 7 starting pitchers last year alone, and this year we've already matched that number. And I think might even have more. With Kirby
yeah,
not pitching, that leaves 6, including Hancock and Evans. Then you throw in
right,
Castillo has a start. Um, Castillo 2.0, I should say. So we're already matching that. If you were to
yeah,
trade for Devers, last year would have been the time. But if the Mariners make a deep run this year, he makes your lineup a whole lot better, a whole lot better.
yeah, he does. But I don't know. I don't think it's realistic because I don't think the Mariners are gonna trade for a third baseman. I mean, it's pretty clear to me at least that he wants to play third, and I think the
Yeah.
Mariners need a first baseman more than anything.
Well,
So
I don't know what the terms of his contract are. I don't know if it's a full no trade clause or anything like that. But if there was
yeah,
even a way where where Devers was a possibility of the Mariners, would he say no? Would he void that contract alone just for saying, "Hey, third base is not in my
yeah,
future in this organization. Why would I try?"
yeah. I mean that's fair. In my opinion, I don't think he would. I don't think he would come here if third base is not his spot.
Hmm.
But that's fine.
No,
I mean, we could just get rid of Ben Williamson and have Devers. I don't care.
yeah, include Ben
And
Williams in the package too, right?
yeah,
They need a first
it's
baseman.
true.
I'm sure they can find somebody to play first base if Ben Williamson's in their lineup somewhere. So no, that's an interesting
Exactly.
thought, and
But
it's funny you mentioned that because
yeah,
some of my questions to you were about trades and as well as mid-season pickups. There's been a
yeah.
lot of names on the waiver wire recently, and have you seen any of the names?
Read them off to me
So there's
if
two
you have
names
them.
that have popped up already, and one's not waiver wire. He's a free agent. So Brandon Drury was recently released by the Angels. He signed a minor league contract this year
That's right. Yeah.
after a failed career or a failed contract with the Red Sox. Dude
Mm-hmm.
struggled for quite some years, but he can play shortstop. He can play first base. He's played second base. I think they even threw him at right field at some point. Obviously, a DH candidate as well.
Yeah.
Do you think
Yeah.
there's a way that either him or another name we'll get to in a second could be added to this Mariners this lineup? Who's kind of the odd man out right now that opened a door for someone like Brandon Drury, who has a troubled record but has a lot of versatility?
Solano has to be the odd man out right now to me. I
It's
mean,
the only name I think of.
yeah, 100%. I mean, look at this series, this Padres series. Rowdy Tellez, he played first. He got the start at first every game, I think, right?
All three.
Yeah, and he homered
And
twice.
he hit a home run twice.
And
And today he missed a home run by what? 3, maybe a couple feet at most.
yeah, exactly. To
Yeah.
to me, yeah, Tellez is our first baseman right now.
Mhm.
And Solano, I mean, he played, I think, the second game. He came in, pinch hit, and got two at bats. He walked, I think,
Mhm.
and that was it. I mean, his average is. I gotta pull it up. Oh
On
my god.
Friday, on the Apple TV stream, they don't put a batting average in the bottom corner. They just put a percentage, and it said
Right.
Solano's percentage of getting a base hit was 16%.
That's so bad.
One
That's
six
rough.
is insane for a major league player being paid $3.5 million.
Yeah.
So for me,
And
you can go out and get Brandon Drury for $1
that's
million
rough.
on a minor league contract with a potential to play on the majors, and just bring him up immediately. But let him know
Yeah.
that hey, the moment you start struggling, you're going right back down. What's the worst that can
Yeah.
happen? We have Donovan Solano on our lineup right now. He's on the
I mean,
roster.
that's fair. If you look at it that way, like Solano's on our lineup right now, so if we bring in someone else like Brandon Drury and he struggles, I mean, it's not going to be any different, right?
Nothing different.
Don't.
Let me
Yeah.
let me
I'm
throw
not.
another name out to you.
Okay. I'm not. Well, I'm not crazy about signing Brandon Drury just because we already have
Yeah,
Solano, and I don't want I don't know, but throw out the other name
Yeah, the Brandon Drury is more of a lateral move. You're not really improving much. There's maybe some more upside there. He's younger. He's had more
defensively.
recent
Yeah,
success,
yeah,
especially on like a power stance. Donovan Solano's always been a singles hitter. Never really found his
yeah.
power stride. Another name is a former Mariner. Played for a one of the top 5 teams in the last 10 years. Had 4 World Series appearances. Any idea? Chris Taylor was
Uh,
just DFA'd by the Dodgers
oh,
yesterday.
I forgot
He's
about him. Oh my
34,
god.
utility player, has struggled the last 2 years heavily.
Yeah, he was good for a while after he left
He was
us to go to
really
the
good.
Dodgers. He was
Believe
their
it or not,
starting
he has over
shortstop. Yeah,
110 home runs on his career right now.
I
I mean,
remember when he came up. I was so hyped about him a
he
long time
played in
ago.
2015 for the Mariners, 2016 to now on the Dodgers, so 10 years with the Dodgers, 10 seasons. Um,
Yeah,
is that someone you look at and say, why not?
yeah. In place of Solano, sure, I would be way
Well,
more.
even he Mastroboni even's been in the lineup more often than he should be. He's batting below the
Yeah,
Mendoza line at 200 right now. Why not
yeah,
bring Chris Taylor up? He's basically Dylan Moore. Dylan Moore is Chris Taylor
yeah.
reincarnated for the Mariners, right?
Exactly.
Playing
Yeah, exactly.
first, second, third, shortstop, right field, left field. Dylan Moore played center field. Dylan Moore's played 7 positions on the field, right?
Yeah, everything
Chris
but
Taylor's done the
catcher.
same exact thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, when he went to the Dodgers, he was playing shortstop and some second
hmm
base, and then once he later, after a few years, once he struggled, he went to the outfield, and
hmm
then yeah, started moving him around once he stopped becoming like an
But he
everyday guy.
always found a way to be productive.
Yeah.
Maybe not always, but consistently. I mean, he was batting 240, 250, 10 home runs, some
If
RBIs, some stolen bases.
I mean, you think about it, the Dodgers are, arguably like the best team, and they could sign anyone pretty much because they can afford to
hmm
pay anyone. And they had Chris Taylor for what 10 seasons. I mean, that shows you that he can be productive on
Yeah.
arguably like the best franchise that you could get. So
40% of his seasons he made it to the World Series.
yeah, which is crazy.
So for me, Chris Taylor's a guy you look at not only for what he can bring on the field, but what he can bring in your dugout.
Oh,
He's a guy that
100%.
has experience at these high levels of plays. He's played with
Yeah.
Otani, he's played with Freeman, he's played with Betts. Why
Yeah.
not give him a shot? You know,
Oh, 100%. I agree with that actually. I like bringing in Chris Taylor. I didn't know he was released.
he
So
just was DFA'd. Yeah.
that's funny. Well, yeah, I
Well,
mean Solano has 61 at bats this year and is batting 131 with 0 home runs and 1 RBI. Are you kidding
and that
me?
one RBI was a sac fly. I remember that. I
Yeah.
remember that
And he
specifically.
can't and he can't play defense. Like he can't
No,
really play in the field. So like what is he doing? Nothing. I like bringing in Chris Taylor actually a lot. That could
I know
be
one
a good move.
one piece that Mariners fans have been talking about this offseason, last offseason, pretty much every offseason, is Mariners have been notoriously rushing prospects. We see Mike Zunino was rushed
Yeah.
to the majors. There's an argument that Jared Kelenic, Kyle Lewis, uh, Evan White,
Evan White,
a
yeah.
bunch of other names have been rushed to the majors. Cole Young is the next guy to come up to this roster from our minor league system. Give
Yeah.
him some time. Pick up Chris Taylor to finish out at least the next few months, if not longer, maybe even the year.
The
Chris
year,
Taylor
yeah.
is going to be able to do just everything Dylan Moore's doing. He's
Hmm.
fast. He has the experience. He's way more capable to help you than Mastroboni or Solano on this roster.
I
I
agree.
think it's a no-brainer, but
Yeah.
time will tell.
I like that a lot actually. I'm glad you brought that up. I think that's a no-brainer too. I mean, I don't like Mastrobuoni at all. He's more productive than Solano, but like I don't like either one of them.
Honestly,
So
he's getting to a point where he might not be.
I mean, yeah, yeah. So, but realistically, do you see the Mariners releasing Donovan Solano? I mean, he doesn't have a minor league option, so I mean,
He's either on the roster or he is traded or released. There's 3 options there.
yeah, traded. I mean, come on, who's trading for him like that?
I mean, hey, we're going to Chicago this week. The White
But
Sox might need him. You never know.
that's true. He's probably better than half their lineup. So, I mean,
You know what?
give us
Here, White
take
Sox, hear
him
us out. Luis Robert for Solano, straight up, no fat on
easy,
that
easy.
contract. Straight up, take it, okay? Take it.
Yeah, you get a cheaper player,
Yeah,
experienced. Come on,
he's
we'll take the
cheaper,
risk and lose
slower,
Rover.
less power. He's everything you need.
Exactly, he fits right in with the rest of the team. Yeah.
Yeah, but when I
So
saw that one, I knew
I,
you were gonna like that. I knew you were gonna like
I
that
do
option.
like that a lot. Why not bring him back to where it started? Give him a second opportunity.
Well, and
Give him
especially with
a
all the lingering issues that the injuries we've experienced. I mean,
yeah,
what is Chris Taylor's similar to like a Leody Taveras guy? Again
yeah.
had a lot of a lot of success at some point. He's really struggling
hmm
right now, but he still brings a lot more than you see just in the batter's box.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, yeah, even if he's not an everyday player, like he's just there, and
He
he's
plays
gonna
twice a
be
week. Maybe a pinch
yeah,
hit, maybe a pinch hitter or a pinch run every once in a while too.
yeah, and even in those situations, he's gonna be better than Solano or
Yeah,
Mastrobuoni at this point, honestly. So
I agree.
Mastrobuoni, I think you can send down, and Solano just I don't know, just release him.
The way I see it, there's
But
three options, and I want to know what option you're choosing. These might be
hmm
pretty straightforward, but these are the three options. You keep
okay,
running with Mastroboni and Solano.
okay,
Second option is you call up Harry Ford and Tyler Locklear or Cole Young. Any two of those three players. Okay.
yeah,
The third option is you take a look at external options, such as maybe a Chris Taylor. Maybe you call the struggling Orioles and say, "Hey, is Ryan
dude,
O'Hearn available?
they
Is
just
Ryan
released their
Mountcastle a turn?"
they just
Yeah,
fired their manager too.
they just filed exactly. So they're already on a downward spiral. Of those three options, are
Crazy.
you looking external? Are you looking internal? Or are you letting it run with who you have right now?
Yeah, in my opinion, the most stacked offense is the Orioles, and they're struggling. But anyway, that's a tangent for another time. But so I really excited to see Harry Ford and Cole Young and well, Evan White not so much, but
Tyler
I
Locklear, not Evan White.
I'm sorry, yeah, dude, Evan White, Tyler
Bring
Tyler
him back.
Locklear.
Bring him back.
But I don't think having to rush even two out of three of those guys right now to the majors when we're playing this well, I don't think that's a good idea. I mean,
I don't either.
I don't think the real reality of that is I don't think two out of three of those guys are going to be able to play well being rushed at this point, honestly. I mean, and I think you have to look at external options.
Hmm.
I think the Chris Taylor option or even something else is your answer. And I don't think the answer is Solano and Mastrobuoni. There's no way Mastrobuoni is going to last the whole year. Solano at this point, unless he really turns it around, like he typically can, like he could do, but I think external options is what I would have to do.
I just think it's too much of a liability to keep slotting in Solano and Mastroboni in your lineup to keep bringing
Agree,
them in
yeah.
for pinch hitting, pinch running, whatever it might be. I really hope you're not. Dan, if you ever put Solano in as a pinch runner, I think that's the moment where we really need
Boy,
to take the
you
streets
better
of
pack
Seattle
your bags right
and you
then and
better
there.
pack your bags. But
That's
realistically,
crazy.
I mean, those two guys should not be in your lineup 3 to 4 days
No,
a week. I'm
no.
not saying Chris Taylor's any better. We've seen that Leotis Taveras is not much better than anyone else, but you at least got to look at these
Hey,
options and say, hey,
he had a two
yeah,
RBI
he had a
double.
ground. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, his batting average has only dropped 20 points from being on the Mariners so far. So, but I
Yeah,
mean, looking at these external options is a something that they need to consider because you
yeah.
can't let Mastrobonis and Solano just overall ruin your lineup every day. You can't rush
No,
these young guys. I mean, we saw Ben
no.
Williamson have a really good hot streak. He's really slowed down in the last week or so. So I
Yeah,
think the best way you can do is go get those guys who have that experience, who are older, who have the poise to hopefully help a team for a long run. I think that's the only
agreed.
option you have right now is to go
Yeah,
outside the organization and see what you can get. Dan Wilson's putting together some crazy lineups, so might as well give him some better pieces to put together. So
agreed, 100%. I mean, um, yeah, like you said, uh, Mastrobuoni is getting way more playing time than he should be
mhm.
at this point. I mean that, yeah. So,
I mean, we're seeing
and
him in
with the
right
amount,
field, second base. I mean, come on,
yeah,
two positions.
seriously,
Come on.
and with the injuries, the amount of injuries that we've had, and a lot of our offensive guys that are injured, their timeline is pretty far out.
Hmm.
So I think you have to go external at this point, especially since we're winning and playing so well.
Hmm.
I mean, if we were losing and like really having a struggling year, then that's I think different. But
Yeah, if we were
I
in
think
the
right now
Orioles
you gotta
scenario, I
go.
mean, you're doing a lot different things than the Mariners are doing right now. Right now, the Mariners are trying
Yeah.
to make their roster the best possible roster they can make to continue the streak. If you're the Orioles,
Yeah.
at 15 and 30, you're just kind of running the
You're
paces at that point. Why not throw Solano at third base? Put
dude.
Mastroboni in center field. Just try something. What
Yeah.
else could happen? But we're not in that situation right now. Mariners are
Yeah.
26 and 19. They're making a run for the postseason, and now matters just as much as it does come September.
Yeah. Give us Jackson Holiday, and we'll give you Donovan
Yeah,
Solano.
Jackson Holiday Solano, straight up, no fat. Just as I said earlier with the Sox, just make it happen.
Exactly. And then we'll give you Mastroboni for like
They can even have Mitch Garver too. You know what? We'll throw in Mitch Garver too.
do Mitch Garver. But yeah, realistically, I'm not bringing up Harry Ford. I think Cole Young's the only guy that's even in the conversation of being brought up right now, but I still am not bringing him up.
Well, he's been on a 10-game hot streak, but as
Yeah.
a young player, that 10-game hot streak should be a season hot streak before you even consider bringing him up, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
you can't. Yeah, 100, yeah, agreed. Yeah, he needs to stay. I think you keep him down the whole year, honestly. And
Yeah,
next year, fresh start, new team. A lot of these guys on the Major League roster are going to be gone,
yeah.
and we're going to have spots. And I think that's when you take a
Mhm.
real look at like Cole Young, even Harry Ford at that point. But right now, no.
Not
Mm-mm.
yet.
Definitely not. And
Well,
if you bring up like Harry Ford and he's on the bench, that's not good.
that's
And then
that's
you're gonna,
useless. Yeah.
yeah, that is useless. And the at bats that he is gonna see are gonna be high pressure, and it's a mental game, especially for young players, and it's not gonna be good. And Cole Young as well. I mean, yeah, we don't have like a real starting second baseman, but Dylan Moore is kind of that guy.
Mhm.
And I think even if Cole Young is up and he's rotating and not seeing consistent starting games, again, I don't think it's
Just
going
leave
to
him
be
down
good.
there.
It's going to
I
be
agree.
mental, and then he's going to be up and down, and then he's going to be Jared Kelnick. So I don't know.
We don't want that. Well,
No.
we got some 7 big games coming up. I'd say. I mean, the White Sox
hmm
series. It might not seem like a lot, but we've seen the Mariners get swept by some pretty rough teams already this year. Not to mention in
Dude,
years past.
I'm going to be so pissed if we sweep the Padres and then we lose a series or get swept by the White Sox. There's no way.
Let's not even put
Oh
that out
my.
there.
Oh my God, dude. We have sweeping the Padres, we have to. I understand it's baseball. You're not going to win every single game, but you have to win the series against the White
Mhm.
Sox at
You
least.
have to.
At least that's the minimum. Is you have to win the series. And
Well, looking forward
I
to these 2 series. What do you see as a record? So we got 3 against the White Sox, 4 against the Houston Astros, who, mind you, are
it's tough.
creeping upon the Mariners right now. I think
Yeah,
they're 2.5
two
games back
two
of
and a
us.
half back. Yeah.
In those 7 games, what do you think is a realistic number that we can expect? What record is are we gonna come out with that?
So realistically, and I think what you have as the Mariners, you have to win. At minimum, you have to win the series against the White Sox. You have to take 2 out of 3, at minimum. And then I think you have to split a realistically I think we'll split the series with the Astros. And I think as the Mariners you have to say we have to at least take 2 games against the Astros. That puts us at what, 4-3
Hmm.
for that stretch, which again that's worst case.
Hmm.
If we could win both series, that'd be great. But because the Astros, it's a 4-game series, and the Astros are playing good, it's tough. But I'm saying at the very least, that's what you have to do.
I say 4-3 is really good. I mean, if you can end this road
Yeah.
trip 4-3 and come back home on a hot note after winning 3 series in a row, fantastic, right? If you can go 5-2, you're setting yourself apart. If you can take
Yeah.
6 games in these next 7, you are showing the league that it does not matter who you are playing, but you are going to be going out there and
So,
making it happen.
so you're saying we're gonna
I'm
sweep the
calling
White Sox?
6-1.
No way. So
I'm
you're saying we're
saying
gonna?
we are going to sweep the Sox. We are going to lose 1 against the Astros, and it's not going to be a Jonathan Diaz start. It's going to be somebody else. But I
Dude,
say we're gonna go 6-1 only because I think everything is working for this team right now, and the only thing that's going to stop us is us. If Dan
Yeah.
Wilson keeps going out here and doing these crazy lineups, pinch hitting Solano for Tellez when he's a far superior hitter, you're going to
Yeah.
struggle. But if you go out there and
Yeah.
do what you need to do, get the job done, pull your guy after 5, 6 innings when he is doing good, I think we're going to go 6-1, and that's my official call. I'm
Damn.
calling it right now on the
Okay.
Talking Tridents podcast.
Sheesh. All right. He said bounce back after the rough homestand. We have to sweep with the Dodgers or Padres and keep it going. All right.
To make this series, to
I,
make this season a legitimate season, you needed it to go 6-1 against these next two opponents. Not to mention a struggling team in the White Sox, but a division
yeah.
rival in the Astros. I think
Yeah.
you have to take 5 or 6. If you take 5, so be it. Go for 6. Get 6.
Yeah. Damn. All right. I mean, yeah, that a division rival that's creeping up on us. Yeah, getting those, winning that series. It's gonna
If you
be
go out there and
crucial in the
trade
stretch.
Solano for Robert and pick up Chris Taylor, you're winning 7. So
Hey, maybe. But yeah, I mean, like you said, with Dan Wilson and the lineup situation, I think, in my opinion, the lineup is pretty straightforward at this point on who you should be putting out there.
I
But
agree.
I don't know. He likes to mix it up and do these crazy
The scout
lineups,
service experiment did not work out long
which
term.
I don't
It worked out
understand.
for a
Yeah.
few years when you had people penciled in every day, but you can't platoon every position. And we have 4 positions that
No.
seem like we're platooning right now with first base, second base, right field, and DH.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I think the lineup, the way that everyone is playing right now, our lineup should be pretty simple. Should be pretty
Pretty simple.
straightforward. Almost the same every single day.
hmm
But for some
The
reason,
only
he
thing
likes
you're
to.
changing is when Dylan Moore needs to be in a different position, or
Yeah.
if someone needs a rest day. That's the only time that should be switched, not because of a
100%.
matchup. So.
Yep. 100%.
Well, let us know what you think down below. It's going to be really interesting to see how this next 7 days go. I really hope I don't look stupid here next week and they go any less than 6 wins. So Mariners make it happen. Anyway, let us know what you think is going to happen next. Let us know, would you go out there and pick up some of these older players to replace some of these guys not doing so well on the roster? And we'll see what happens in a week. We'll see you guys then.
Yep. We'll find out next week.
Thanks for watching.